All right, YouTube. Here's my opinion and my review on the Matco grid system. I don't remember the company that makes it for them, but as far as I know, they exclusively sell it through Matco. They might have some other distributors now, but I've had this for close to a year, so I feel like I can kind of give an honest review on it. As you can see, I have my stuff in here. It's really organized. Everything's in where you can find it. I've got a lot in there, but as you can see, there's also a lot of dead space. It's infinitely better than the blow molded plastic stuff or the the cheap plastic stuff that you get with some of your sockets. And in my opinion, it's better than these plastic ones. Happens to be off the Matco truck, but the metal ones, the plastic ones, they're all almost the same. And those work, but when you close the drawer, everything on those rows, they just tip over and flop around, and I don't like that. After I get done here in just a second, I'll show you what I really like, but they aren't made anymore, and probably because of a price thing, people think it's probably too expensive. But if you'll notice, all of these have those little Torx bits in there. So anytime you buy another set of sockets or you buy another socket, you can see, down here in the front, I've got some sockets that I've just bought as individuals. Anytime you do that, and if you're OCD like I am, you want to put them in somewhat of an order so you can find the stuff when you need it, you wind up doing a bunch of rearranging. I don't know how many times I've taken this drawer apart and put it back together because I've moved tools. I was turning wrenches for a while, and then I was doing office work for a while, and then I was back to turning wrenches, and then doing wrenches and office work part-time. So I had some tools here, some tools at work. So anyways, for right now, everything's officially at home, and I'm not turning wrenches for a living anymore, but you never know when that could change. But every time you change something, you got to take all them screws out and start all over again. Anytime you add a set of sockets or you take away a set of sockets, you got to do that. And as you can see, they're all in there. And they have different sizes. There's a 1/2-inch one, and there's a 3/8 one right next to it. So you can see they're all pretty similar, but you got to do that every time you want to change. And then you've got these quarter drive ones that do that. They have these ratchet ones that hold your ratchet in place. You can use 2 of these ends and set up your extensions. When I didn't have as many sockets, I had that. I had a whole bunch of extensions right in here. All my 1/4-inch drive and 3/8 ones, and then over here I had all my 1/2-inch ones. So I had everything all segregated out so I could see it and get a hold of it easily. But it has its perks, but it also has its downsides too. So you got to figure out what's best for you. If you're growing your tool set, this probably won't be the setup you'll want for now, because anytime you got to change something, it's very labor intensive, and it'll take you a lot of time to do it. The ones that I really like are these guys right here. You can see that's a cobalt. So you can find that at Lowe's. It's magnetic. These little plastic, they only comes with a few of these plastic, like maybe 10 through 18 or 19, or something like that, something similar. As you can see, the magnet's pretty strong on them. Picked those guys right up off of there and dropped them down when I whacked them on the wrench there. But they're a nice low profile. So you can stand them up in your drawers. You don't have to cut your drawer liners or nothing. They just stick right to it. And they'll hold the big 1/2-inch drive sockets really well. But they're $20 a stick. And Cobalt no longer offers them. Oh look, picked up another one right there. But that's my personal favorite is that guy right there. These guys right here, this little blue guy, that's all right. It works okay, but it's not really portable. Whereas that gray one right there, you can you pick that up and take it with you. Go stick it to the car or whatever you're working on, you know, and then all your sockets are right there with you. And then you bring it back and you just set it back down in your toolbox in the row, and you're good to go. And these are not like that. The sockets, that's just a placeholder. They do twist lock to that rail right there. You righty tighty, lefty loosey, and then you can kind of adjust it, and then you got to tighten it back up to keep it where it is. That's kind of handy. But that stick is, I think I paid $40 for that stick. So, and I thought, what the heck, I'll give it a try. I was feeling generous that day, so I threw a bunch of money at the Cornwall guy, and I just really wasn't happy with it. You know, for portable stuff, if you're moving your tools around a lot, this may still be the best option for you because they're cheap, they're easy. If you break it, it's no big deal. $20 and you're up and going again. But anyways, that's what I like there. And they've got lots of options for these little holders. I've got some 3/4 sockets in there for some semi-truck stuff that I do occasionally. But you know, 2 screws to hold those down. And you have to buy, they give you a couple sets of some limited stuff there. But if you have an extensive socket set like this, you got to buy a ton of those things. And you got to buy a ton of those, a couple of these bag of screws. And so, you know, anytime you add or change, there it goes. You know, and they've got these things set up so they'll hold, man, I'm throwing them everywhere. But they'll hold anything, you know, with a handle, screwdriver, whatever, you know, like their photos show. The one that I was really disappointed in was the one for the wrench drawer. And since these things were designed exclusively for Matco, I would have thought that they would have fit in a drawer that a lot of people use for their wrench drawer. But a 19 millimeter or bigger end wrench doesn't fit on that grid system with the wrench holders that they have. I went back to using the, I returned them to the guy because I couldn't use them. And so I went and got the Snap-on double-sided sticky tape ones. You just, you lay everything out in your drawer how you think you're going to want it. Use it for a few weeks. Make sure it's going to be what you want and how you want it. And then if it is, once you get it arranged how you want, you trace it with a razor blade and cut the floor mat. These things are kind of hard to pull up, but there you go. You just cut the floor mat, sticking right down to the bottom of the toolbox, and then start throwing your wrenches in, and then they stay there and hold all your wrenches. So, and they have taller ones for these bigger wrenches that hold them a little better, but then again, they don't fit in the drawer. Hindsight being 2020, I should have ordered this toolbox with this just being one drawer instead of 2 drawers on these drawers. But then also I wouldn't have a place to stick my small selection of extensions. I've got a few, but I don't have like this huge collection like some guys have, but probably have more than a lot of other people too. So I don't know. It doesn't seem like very many when you got them in this huge drawer all by themselves. But anyways, that's my take on this system. If you don't mind all the labor, it's a great system. It works out. But if you can find stuff like this, you can fit a lot more in there and have a lot more versatility out of it, because that can just pick up and go right out. So anyways, let me know what you think.